Simon says, hands on your hips.
You said your name was Sue Ellen.
I'm not Simon now.
Well, then who are you? Daddy, there's a stranger in the house!
Shut up!
Do you want to be in a future FUDW?
Yes!
Stick around to the end of the video to find out how. This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Be sure to subscribe and help get this video to 2,000 likes.
And I say, hey!
DW interrupts her brother's rainy day snack to tell him about the parade outside. Arthur chooses now to start believing his serpent-tongued sister and goes to see for himself. Turns out it was all a lie. Because, duh, and Arthur returns to find his brownie missing a huge bite, which somehow feels worse than if DW had just eaten the whole thing. Arthur says he wishes he was an only child, for obvious reasons, and while I understand Arthur's sentiment, I'm not sure why he has to lump in baby Kate. We all know she's the good sister. Arthur changes his mind when he remembers he can blame all his screw-ups on DW, even though we've proven time and again that never works. Elwood City is hosting its annual 4th of July picnic. Arthur and DW are in the middle of a race when DW's clumsy ass turns them from a wheelbarrow to a barrel roll.
Last time you almost drove me into the lake.
Which I'm sure was totally an accident. Sue Ellen offers to play with DW, only to be told the race is just for siblings. All the same, the race seems rigged considering both Fern and James bribed these two randos to pretend to be their siblings. DW tries to comfort Sue Ellen in the most DW way possible.
Maybe there's a contest for lonely children after this.
It's only children, DW. A lonely child is what you're gonna be when I sell you.
Burn!
Sue Ellen is bummed she doesn't have any siblings to play with. Even the Tibble troublemakers are giving her FOMO. Sue Ellen tells her parents she wants a brother or sister for her birthday, which is conveniently 9 months away. Her parents tell her that having another child wouldn't afford them the ability to travel all over the world. Sue Ellen says she'd happily give up her family's biannual international vacations in favor of having a snot-nosed sibling of her own. Clearly, Sue Ellen's head is cracked harder than Clarissa's. Sue Ellen decides to find her own sibling, since she can't legally inseminate her parents.
I don't think you can buy them.
Not unless you go by DW's dream logic. Sue Ellen thinks Binky could be a good older brother and goes to him for career advice on oceanography. Because if there's anyone who can offer sound advice, it's a 10-year-old flunky with a fist for a brain.
Why don't you study something cool like worms?
There's no such thing as a wormographer.
Sue Ellen, I got some bad news for you. Sue Ellen next goes to the brain, who commits the ultimate sin of making oceanography sound lame as shit. Also, that's not how you draw the eyes of Buddha. Way to go, PBS. Sue Ellen next tries to make Arthur her brother, which is extra icky when you remember she has a crush on him.
Are you sure nobody read my diary? I said some pretty nice things about you.
The show is rated G, right? Sue Ellen lastly goes to Prunella and her older sister, until she realizes they're the kind of assholes who method act as their D&D characters. Instead of calling it quits, Sue Ellen convinces herself the only solution is to get herself a younger sister. The next day, Sue Ellen arrives at the Reed home with a shovel to dig her own grave. Sue Ellen insists on babysitting DW, despite Arthur's fervent objections.
Don't you know what DW stands for?
I can answer that.
Give me 25 seconds on the clock, please. Dimwit, deadweight, dream wrecker, dipshit waffle, devil worshipper, demon wench, destroyer of worlds, dopey wombat, doom wisher, dishwasher, donkey wiener, dickweed, danger weasel, dead weevil, deadly wizard, dart weapon, don't want, darkwing, dankweed, dribble wimp, dork whisperer, D's wingnuts, deranged watermelon, dangerous woman, dirtwad, diarrhea Weinstein, dog wipe, diaper wedgie, deathworm, douche wand, deer wrangler, defective wumbo, disaster warning, and Dora whiner Fred. Arthur watches hopelessly as Sue Ellen marches upstairs to her own funeral.
Glory, glory, God, Halloween, God, he ain't gonna jump no more.
And now, back to Arthur!
Sue Ellen enters the belly of the beast as she deludes herself into thinking DW will be willing to behave herself for an entire afternoon. Hell, she could barely last 10 minutes. Sue Ellen is past the point of no return as DW seals off her escape. DW takes one look at her next meal before screaming piggyback at the top of her lungs.
Piggyback!
Piggyback!
I know what sound I'll be hearing in my nightmares tonight. DW forces Sue Ellen to carry her around the house like a jackass. Arthur offers no respite for Sue Ellen's plight as he's become desensitized to his sister's innate cruelty. And even though Arthur claims his parents are home, we never see them once during the whole damn episode. God only knows what they're actually up to. Sue Ellen tries to teach DW how to play Simon Says. Guess how that turns out.
Simon says, hands on your hips.
You said your name was Sue Ellen.
Simon Says scream and whine like a good-for-nothing brat.
Daddy, there's a stranger
Simon says, "Give me the most unsettling laugh you can muster." Bitch is 4 years old acting like she never played Simon Says. Girl, you go to preschool. Simon Says takes up half your damn day. Sue Ellen then tries to host a tea party, which instantly falls apart when DW finds out there's no orange soda. I mean, to be fair, that'd be my deal breaker too. DW threatens to start crying if she doesn't get her soda, so Sue Ellen tries to calm the terrible toddler with an origami swan. Now that DW has the swan, what do you think she'll do with it? The Reed parents need to bolt down that fucking window. Sue Ellen is pushed past her breaking point after DW shoots her in the face with Homer's makeup gun. She flees the house and runs to the safety of her room. Sue Ellen admits she's now happy to be an only child, when, surprise, surprise, her parents tell her she's getting a new brother.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Turns out her parents are sponsoring a kid from Tibet who Sue Ellen could be pen pals with. Arthur says this is better than having a little brother.
Because he's 3,000 miles away.
Actually, Arthur, Tibet is over 7,500 miles away from the US. You're 0 for 2, PBS. And while Sue Ellen may have been traumatized by DW, it's nowhere near as bad as what Arthur will do to her in the future. Yeah, no matter how bad DW may be, So Funny I Forgot to Laugh is undoubtedly the worst episode of Arthur. Seriously, fuck that episode. Let's review. Sue Ellen was desperate to have a brother or sister of her own and tried to guilt her parents into getting pregnant. She then tried to trick her friends into filling the sibling role for her, which failed miserably. Sue Ellen then tried to make DW her little sister and quickly learned the grass is never greener. DW made it her mission to drive Sue Ellen batshit insane, a mission she passed with flying colors. DW spent the whole afternoon breaking Sue Ellen's back, screaming in her face, and treating her handmade gifts like crap. DW's torture only ceased once Sue Ellen ran home screaming. And in the end, Sue Ellen realized she was content with just having friends. Because when you think about it, what is a sibling other than a friend you can't ditch, no matter how toxic they become? So, F you Sue Ellen for not appreciating what you have. And of course, for terrorizing a poor girl just for the hell of it, F you, DW.
And I say,
Hey, do you want to be on FUDW?
That's all you had to say.
Send me a 10-second video of you saying FUDW, and your clip might just be featured in a future episode. Use the Google form in the pinned comment to submit your video. And make sure to include the hashtags FUDW and FUDW submission so I know the video is yours. Also, I have a Patreon. Sign up at patreon.com/mattneff to get your name in the thank you credits, as well as early access to both FUDW and FUCaillou. If there's a movie or show you'd like me to talk about, top-tier patrons can commission a review for my channel. Check out the link in the description to become an FUDW superfan. Also, I'm now on Cameo, so make sure to check out my profile to get a personalized FU video. Next time on FUDW...
Have I fribbled away my childhood?
No. A simple three-letter word like no doesn't exactly make me feel better, Arthur.
and I say, hey.